there's one thing that I've lacked in my life, and there are probably many more that I could think of if I think about it very long. One thing that I've lacked is focus. And this is true in a way that you might not initially suspect when you think about that idea. Most people think about me doing a particular task and not being as laser focused on that particular task as I need to be. But we're going to talk today about focus on the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host, I'm Kurt, by the way, and today is Thursday the 13th. As I said yesterday, missed it by a day. It's not Friday the 13th, so if you're superstitious, you don't have to worry about that. But it is Thursday the 13th of May of 2021 today. Welcome to everybody who's here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube. We're going to not say the YouTube or just podcast today. We're going to try not to anyway. Again, the subject today is focus, and I'm going to read you my notes real quick, and this is going to give you an idea what my perspective was when I began to look at this. I've been prone to be a bit scatterbrained as a younger person. That's not something I believe to be a good one, right? That's not a good thing. One of the most important things in life is focus. It's interesting to note there are excessive hospital fires in Baghdad, and you're going, what the heck does that have to do with anything? Because of worker malfeasance. I have one question, though. Can you change that? Unless you want to put yourself in a position where you can, concerning yourself over that may not be the best choice. You may want to make other choices about upon what you focus. And this is the subject today. This is what we're going to talk about. Look, there are all kinds of things going on in your life, and there's enough data to choke, a million horses out there that you can get to with relative ease. And people are constantly pushing stuff at you that they think that you need to look at and you need to pay attention to. But I want for you to start, and I want to start. So this is not something just for you. It's something for all of us. It's something for me too. So I want for you to start, and I also want to start focusing on what is real, what is meaningful, and what is important. This is what I want to spend my time on. And hopefully this is something that you want to spend your time on as well, right? I'll just say that I have had issues with this kind of focus as much as I've had issues with focus on things like a particular task that I was supposed to be doing at a given time. I've gotten better about focusing in on particular tasks over the course of time, but one of the things that it's a lot harder to do is focus on those things around you and decide which of them are significant or important to you. And this is what I'm urging you towards today. I've heard a number of people say that there are folks out there who just pay attention to the mainstream media. I'm not saying stop paying attention to the mainstream media, and I don't think most of the folks I listen to would tell you that either. What they are saying is really look at what's going on, try to pay attention, and try to come to some understanding about what's going on where the current situation is. But more importantly, here's the thing. Let's say again that there are hospital fires in Baghdad that are, due to employee malfeasance, messing with oxygen or whatever. So what can you do about that? I'm not saying you can't do anything about it. I'm saying if you can't, maybe it's not something to put your attention on for very long. I'm not saying, too, either that you can't ever put your attention on anything that's not sort of out of the realm of things that you can do anything about. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, as a rule, what you need to do is focus on what's important. That's what you need to do as a rule. And part of that process is to assimilate the data that you're getting, to bring it into your general realm of data that you possess, and to decide how it fits as a rule. Because what's going to happen when you do that is you're going to find that there are things that you didn't realize were true. You're going to put pieces together. There's going to be that 2 + 2 moment where you're going to realize that you thought it was 3. And in reality, it's 4. That's going to happen. This is something that's going to happen as a result of you focusing in on where the bigger picture is concerned. Yeah, it's important. Don't get me wrong. It's important when it comes to those small tasks that I talk about too. And I think a lot of people need to work on that as well, myself included at times. But a lot of times that stuff is not the problem for me. The problem is somebody will say something that I will not pay the will not give the attention that I really should have given it. I won't pay it the mind that it should get. And if I had done so, I would realize, hey, you know what? There's a bigger picture here, and we need to understand that. And this is where I see certain people excelling. People like Dan Bongino. Dan will go and he'll bloodhound down a trail until he decides what's going on. In another way, I see Tim Pool as being pretty good at this process. But this is why they're good, in my estimation, at what they do. This is why they're good at what they do. I don't care whether anybody thinks they're people you should listen to or not. I don't care. I'm sorry. That's your problem, not mine. As far as I'm concerned, I'll listen to Dan Bongino all day long before I listen to Brian Stelter. And I'll listen to Brian Stelter now and again. So that tells you how likely I am to listen to Bongino or Poole or Dinesh D'Souza or any number of other people, right? I will listen to people who I think are wrong most of the time. I'll listen to Alex Jones. I won't listen to Alex Jones with the idea that I'm going to assimilate or believe everything that he puts out there. And I don't even know if Alex is still around. I assume he is by this point. But I'll listen to him. I'll listen to people who are stupid on the left. I'll listen to people who are crazy on the right. I'll listen to whatever it happens to be. And then I'll make my decisions based on what I'm seeing myself. And I'll be careful to make sure that I don't give anybody too much credence, and particularly not if they haven't shown me that they deserve it. But the point is, the important thing is, what do you focus on? Why do you focus on it? Why do I spend my time looking at politics? I've told people I'm not a voter. Why do I spend my time looking at politics? Because I'm here, I try to be here in a place where I can help other people to better understand their world. And sadly, one thing that you cannot be unaffected by is politics. And that includes me. Even a guy who doesn't vote. And you can say, well, you don't vote, so you shouldn't have a voice. I'm not really asking for a voice in the traditional sense. The voice that I want to have is one that says, hey, do you see this? Do you understand this? And for me, what I want to do is really get to the root of things. I want to get to the underlying stuff. I don't want to spend my time on things that are, 10 layers up. I want to spend my time on things that are 10 layers down. I want you to. Somebody said. Many people actually have expressed the idea. Culture is driven by, and politics is driven by culture. So they're symbiotes, sort of, you could say. They rely on one another. They work with one another. And this is, so from my perspective, I'm going to work typically from a cultural perspective to show people what I'm showing them. But it's important to watch what's happening so you can see where both culture and politics are going if you're going to do that. I have to focus, and this is something that I want to spend my time doing. And I'm going to say this to you. I want you to spend your time doing that too. That's important for you as well. Okay? And so I'm going to say it again. If you hear about rocket launch over Tel Aviv, right? I'm not saying ignore that, but I'm asking you whether or not that's something upon which you should be focusing. And I'm going to say something else about that. Instead of focusing on that, how about we focus on what's the probable cause of those rocket launches? Why is that happening? What's going on there? And I really think that you should listen to a few people and find out what you think from them, and then decide whether or not they're telling you the truth. Why is that happening? Why did that suddenly start to be a thing again? What caused that to suddenly start to be a thing? The point is, what you focus on when you're looking at that, what you focus on is what's important. If you focus on the rockets being launched, you're probably focusing on the wrong thing. If you focus on the defense, you're probably focusing on the wrong thing. What caused that? All right, I am running out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video for today. It is, as I say, Thursday, the 13th of May of 2021 today. That means tomorrow will be Friday, the 14th of May of 2021. This is the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host. I am Kurt. And again, today's subject has been focus. Tomorrow we will be talking about not magic. And this is an important one as far as I'm concerned because of how a lot of people are viewing things that they consider to be scientific in nature. So that's what we're going to try and get ourselves into discussing tomorrow. Thanks for everybody who's been on Rumble, on YouTube, and on the podcast. Not on the YouTube, on YouTube and on the podcast. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for sitting through my entire video. Hope you're having a good day today. Hope things are going well for you as a general thing. Remember, you can like my videos on YouTube if you happen to be watching them there, and you can give me a positive rumble on Rumble if you like them there. You can give me a negative one if you want to, and it'll let me know maybe that my subject or whatever is not something that you were all that interested in, or that you didn't agree with something I said. Keep in mind also that you can comment on whatever it is that I'm talking about. Hope you're doing well today, as I say, and hopefully we will see you again on tomorrow's Daily Summation. The speaker on this edition of the Daily Summation is Kurt Schubert. This video was recorded on Thursday, the 13th of May of 2021. The Daily Summation is created for Kurt's Religion and Politics. Thanks for watching this edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I hope you found it entertaining or instructional, or maybe both. If you want to see more from me, you can go to blogs.kpschubert.com. That's blogs.kpschubert.com. I am on Twitter, Parler, and Minds.com. My handle on each of those is @kpschubert. That's @kpschubert. I have a Rumble and a YouTube channel. They are the Kurt's Religion and Politics channels on Rumble and YouTube. I have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is Kurt's Religion and Politics as well. I am on Patreon. If you want to support me, that's one of the better places you can do that. And you will find me at Kurt's Religion and Politics on Patreon. I have a podcast. The podcast is podcasts with an S, .kpschubert.com. That's podcasts.kpschubert.com. I think you should be able to find me with relative ease on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify as well. The best way I find to do that is to look for Kurt's Religion and Politics. You can try to use the Daily Summation. I find that it doesn't work as well as a general rule, but you can always try that. I'm glad to have you aboard today, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow.